In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use layers to better organize your interfaces in JumboLogic. I've created a new project called Tutorial Project, and I'm going to add a interface aspect to it called Layers Example. Interface aspect. In my interface aspect, I'm going to add a page called Home. Okay. Now I'm on the interface interface designer screen, and I'm going to draw a very simple contact form. I'm going to start with a panel. I'm going to put a label on it. I'm going to say username. I'm going to draw another label. I'm going to call it password. Add 2 text boxes, one there, and then add a button. Okay, so now I have a very simple login form. Straighten that out. So one thing you'll notice is when I drag this background, it drags by itself, and the things don't follow it. The form elements don't follow it. Also, but they should, because they're all part of one element or part of one section of the screen. So one option I have is I could select them all by clicking and dragging in select mode and then dragging it around. But this actually becomes a little cumbersome if you have a lot of sub-objects, like if you have a page with a subform and another form inside it. So we have something called layers that we can use, and that's this third one. It's called layer select mode. When you select layer select mode, you can select an object like the panel or the button, and it'll become purple, and that means that it's currently selected. The advantage of doing things in with layers is that when you draw elements onto a layer, anything you draw in it will permanently be attached to that, and you can actually create hierarchies. I'll show you a very simple example. So let's start over. I'm going to delete everything. I'm going to draw a panel again, but this time I'm going to select this panel as the current layer. So I'll go to layer select mode and click on it. Selecting it as a layer makes everything I add from this point forward be a child of that panel or the layer, right? So I can now draw a label, and I'll name it username and password, and then I'll also draw a text box and another text box that will represent my form, right? And I will also draw a button, alright? So now when I select this panel and drag it around, everything follows it. It's kind of like grouping, but it's multi-level. Instead of like being able to group part and part, you actually can create hierarchical groups using layers. Alright, so to deselect, select layer select mode, select the element and click off, and then deselects it. You'll notice that even still, when I drag this element around, everything follows it. I can drag the individual elements anywhere I want, right? And it'll still follow it. At any time, if you want to see the parents of a particular element, click on one, go to parents, and it'll show you, and you can highlight them. So for instance, we click on the button. We'll notice that the button, which you can see highlighted in yellow, has one parent called the panel, right? And the parents show you the particular layers that are the quote-unquote parents of that element, right? Furthermore, let's say you want to add something else, like right now this is not selected as the current layer, But let's say you want to add a checkbox, right? And this checkbox, go back to the Properties tab. We're going to say, keep me logged in. Alright, so typically this is used to keep someone logged into their website using cookies, right? I can drag it onto there, but you'll notice it's not part of it, right? You can easily make an element and put it on a layer by selecting the element that you want to add, going to layer select mode and selecting the layer you want to add it to. Go to select mode again, click on actions and set parent to selected layer, and you'll notice there's a little notice that says element parent changed. Now I can deselect the layer, keep that selected, go to parents, and you'll notice that the checkbox now has a parent called panel. So the checkbox is a parent called panel, and it's on the home page, which is this whole page here. You can use layers across pages. So for instance, if you have multiple elements that are on a page, you can actually have it inherit. I'll show you a quick example here. So let's say I draw a panel on this home page. I'll go back to the layers example, add a subpage. We'll call it subpage. Okay, you'll notice everything's here. I can't select it because it's on a parent, but I can select this as the layer, and I can add a label. We're going to make this pretty big. We're going to make it like 36 point. We'll say hello. Remember, anything I add while a layer is selected is added to that layer as the parent, right? So now, right, you can see the parent, and I'll show you which page it's currently subbed on. So the subpage is hello, and the home page owns this panel, right? I'm going to put this in the top left-hand corner, or near it at least, right? And I'm going to go back to the home page. Obviously, it's not there anymore, but I'm going to move this element, and I'm going to move it over here, right? So you'll notice that it has been reflected on the subpage, and hello moves along with its parent. This means if you have a template and you have sub-elements on it, you can actually rearrange your website, and everything that's on that element will still be on that element after you've rearranged it. And this will work no matter how many pages you have. So if you have a 100-page website and you want to rearrange where the body goes, you don't have to go to every page to fix it. You can do it once and it'll be reflected on every single page. This is why layers are so powerful.